It was incredibly important to have this forum that we hosted over the last 2 days. As it's been widely publicized, the DRC government is on a mission to ensure that it beneficiates its minerals locally and ensures that the shared wealth with the local population. Gone are the days where we just export raw materials to various other countries around the world without Africa seeing the real benefits of its minerals on the ground. Without adding value, it's almost pointless. And we then thought it was incredibly important that we give it the necessary support to ensure that it takes the right steps in as far as building a battery metals industry within the country. And as you know, this is a long-term view. You're looking at the very least at a 10-year project, and there are incredibly important steps that the country needs to undertake leading up to it getting the first batch of batteries out of a conveyor belt. And we thought it was important that we have this forum to support the government's initiatives in as far as building a battery metals industry is concerned. Sure. So we had a number of panels over the last 2 days. The one panel that we had was on local transformation, and we essentially had the Zambian minister, for instance, as well as the Ministry of Industry join that, and the Ministry of Mines join that particular panel. And that panel essentially looked at how do you transform at a local level at every stage of the value chain from pit to port, and how we can then ensure that we add the necessary steps where all the players see the value of localizing the manufacture of batteries within the country, and how we then incentivize your mines, for instance, and to ensure that they support this initiative. And then I also enjoyed the social development panel that also happened, and that particular panel spoke on how we need to have measures in place to ensure that the shared value amongst all the stakeholders, most importantly the DRC's people. Without their support, you will not see the sector being sustainable on a long-term basis. As I mentioned earlier on, this is a long-term project, and what we essentially want to do is we want to walk this journey with the DRC government and the industry as well. So we'll continue sharing stories on successful beneficiation projects from across the continent. We'll continue having conversations on investor incentives, on ESGs, for instance, on local transformation, as well as other related matters within the battery metals industry. But this all has to do with local transformation, and that's the story that will continue carrying on going forward.